GSXR 750 has re-entered the chat. What is going on, everybody? Well, I told you guys that if I was ever in a position to get a smoking deal on a GSXR 750, that I would absolutely put one back into the fleet. And, well, would you look at that? Practically indistinguishable from the bike that I had before. Yeah, I get that. But here's the thing. This is the exact motorcycle from the Suzuki Demo Tour fleet. This is that motorcycle that you'll see me in the video on the Demo Tour. You'll also see other folks riding it as well. This motorcycle is a 2025 GSXR 750 that has seen basically 1,500 miles of nothing but parade laps. Matter of fact, I don't think this motorcycle has ever seen above 8,000 or 9,000 RPM for any real length of time until yours truly got the key to it. So, what gives? What makes this bike any different from the one that I had before? Nothing. Well, except for one thing, and we'll get to that in a second. And I don't really remember this correctly, but I want to say that the VIN numbers are even really close. The one thing I will say about this bike is that compared to my other GSXR 750, keeping in mind they were both stock motorcycles, this one here runs differently. I know it's going to sound kind of strange, and maybe it was because the other bike wasn't fully broken in. This motorcycle behind me has been babied for its entire 1,500 miles worth of existence. I don't know if any of that has any bearing here, but I will say this. The bike sitting behind me feels significantly stronger than the bike that I had let go. So I guess it's a win for me. But I will say this. I am not going to take this motorcycle as far as the plans that I had for the other bike. I still want to do a full M4 exhaust. Obviously, it's going to get the tune to go along with that. But I want to just go ahead and stop there. Outside of a different set of tires, because the BT 016s that are on this motorcycle, well, let's just say that I've come close to finding their limits already trying to get these tires scuffed in. Remember how this motorcycle was used after all. But I will say this, outside of tires, full exhaust, of course, again, the M4 Tech 1 Carbon, as we've all grown to know and love, and a tune. This motorcycle is going to stay there. Yeah, I'd originally wanted to go ahead and maybe tinker with the quick shifter on the other bike. But I got to thinking, look, the problem with quick shifters and that kind of technology, this green bike back here will be plenty able to testify for me for, is that the technology is great when it's working well, but when there's other mitigating factors that either make that technology not quite as effective or annoying in that it is not as consistent as you would like, well, then there's nothing like having a good old-fashioned clutch and foot gear selector. And in this case, not having a quick shifter, I feel like, especially after riding the bike for quite a bit of time today, I feel like it's almost an advantage with the GSXR 750. So hear me out on this. In lower speed riding, I can tell you this right now, having the regular shift style, the old school shift style, I guess you would say, is actually a benefit. I'm very smooth in that respect. That's what I grew up riding. But the shifter travel is very, very short with the shifter on the Suzuki. So it's very easy to just cover shifts very quickly without needing a quick shifter. I got to thinking when I was riding the 750, I may, after riding the 636, have developed a really weird quick shifter anxiety. Like, is it gonna work? Can I rely on this thing? Well, listen, as long as I've got clutch hand and clutch or shifter foot, I can marry those two skill sets together and make a bike shift. And I gotta tell you, it was really nice rowing the 750 through the gears. It feels kind of weird not having a quick shifter after having one for so long, but you immediately just kind of snap back into form. And again, because the shifter travel is so short, the clutch is buttery smooth, all the engagement zones are really nice with the Suzuki, I almost don't even want to ruin that with a quick shifter. So anyway, that's where I'm standing with the bike now. Plans for this thing? First of all, I got to get this thing cleaned up. It looks like it's been ridden through a swamp. On the demo ride, by the way, one of the roads, and you may see this in one of the videos, there's some runoff coming off of a property, a water main or whatever, dirt. It's gross. So anyway, I got to get the gross off the bike, get her go ahead and cleaned up, and, start making content with the GSXR 750. Now, here's another place I want to take this bike, though. What I'd like to do is put a head-to-head with the 750 versus the 636. 750 can remain stock for this, and I'm working on the logistics of this. But I got to tell you, the way that this 750 runs, it's kind of reset my thought process in terms of which one I think may come out on top. 750 puts down a chunk more torque in every aspect of the riding experience. 636 is going to have its hands full, but the 750 doesn't rev as high, doesn't have as aggressive a gearing, and well, that 636 is no slouch. I think it'd be a pretty good race if you asked me, but there's only one way to find out, and that's in the doing. So I'm working on that. But in the meantime, I am elated to bring you GSXR 750 again. Guys, it has been a long time coming, and I know a lot of you folks were a little bit peeved that the other 750 left, but it left for good reason, and now basically I've got it back. It's the exact bike that I wanted, and I can't wait to dive into it. But look, before I can do any of that, I got to get this thing cleaned up. We've got some cool parts coming. We've got the mirror deletes with the blinkers from New Rage, and we've also got the New Rage tail tidy coming. After that, we're going to start diving into it, but I will leave you with this parting shot. Join me in re-welcoming the Suzuki GSXR 750 into the family. And with that, listen, if you made it this far into the video, consider smashing that subscribe button. Helps out the channel more than you know. And I hope to catch you on the next one. Y'all take it easy.